Hello, I'm Semily Sherry of Triple Moon, and I've just recently completed my spiritual guidance for October-November 2023. I pull one card from the Thoth Tarot deck, and that's led me on to making this video today. So I'll put a link to that article in the description below this video or in the comments if you're watching on Facebook. So what I have been noticing, let me go back. As if you've been watching my videos, you'll know that this particular evolution moment in our spiritual consciousness is now all about embodying the divine, bringing spiritual energies down into physical manifestation on the earth. So, as we are already on a bumpy ride, and I sense that it's going to get a little bumpier over the next few months, I just wanted to explain what that was and then how that process is showing up for me and for those that I work with. So firstly, understanding that the changes we're seeing in the world, if we as individuals are going to embody spiritual and divine energies, then obviously the actions we take, the thoughts we bring into fruition as ideas and inspirations in the world are also going to carry that energy. And if that is going to exist on planet Earth, then the old structures that don't carry the spiritual energies with the values of inclusivity, justice, compassion, fairness, unity, they can no longer survive. So that's the process we're watching now. As things seem to go incredibly chaotic in the world, it's because those who fear spiritual energy or indeed change of any sort or fear a loss of power, they're holding on as tight as they can to the old ways. And people are generally feeling insecure, especially those who have not had any knowledge of spirituality before or don't understand what's going on. So it can appear to be incredibly chaotic and frightening. And it's why all of those of us who are working with the light and working with our spiritual energy need to hold a steady center now. So just to understand that all the apparent collapse and breakdown that's happening in the world is to make way for this new embodiment of the divine, which will then lead to new structures in society and culture, new ways of organizing ourselves, supporting and helping ourselves and the planet. It makes space for that to come into being. So what I'm noticing on a really basic level, it's simple, but this is what's happening, is that first of all, with those who maybe have not thought much about spirituality before, they're coming to me for healing on a physical level. So they're coming with a very bodily held problem. And then as we work just with that physical problem, obviously if you come and see me, you're going to have a little dose of spirituality. I can't help it. It's such a part of who I am, but I'm certainly not forcing it on people. But I'm noticing that everyone who comes now is really open to that. And sometimes without even me having to instigate that conversation, they're bringing up the discussion because they're feeling the energy moving through them, and it's triggering memories. It's triggering emotions, it's triggering thoughts, and suddenly the conversation is opened up to talk about something much deeper. So the body, which is our physical material vehicle on this planet, is really coming into center stage now, especially for those who perhaps haven't explored spirituality before. So they're needing help and support with a physical issue, or sometimes with a problem, because I do readings as well, as you know, and they'll come to me with a very practical earthly problem to do with their family or to do with their finances. And again, somehow by that process, the conversation is opening up really easily to include a spiritual and emotional background to what might be happening in the physical world. So those connections are so much stronger and so much more tangible for everybody now, no matter what stage of spiritual development they're at. So just be aware of that, because you may be called upon to help a friend who, you know, you've always thought of as not having a spiritual mindset. But know that when you're helping them with a very practical problem in their lives, it could very well open up that spiritual conversation with them. And the other thing I'm noticing is that those of us who are already very aware of spirituality and have been working with it for some time, our bodies are really asking for attention, because it's a lot of energy for our physical vehicles to hold. The frequencies are so high, higher than have ever been available to us before. And so we are really being asked to listen to our bodies. So when you're tired, you must rest. When you're feeling like you haven't been fueling your body well enough, you need to examine your diet and ask yourself, is there something you need to cut out? Is there more healthy elements you need to include in your diet? Do you need to drink more water? And as I always teach, if any of you have done any kind of spiritual development work with me, our body is our prime tool for working with intuition. I'm sure you've all had that prickly sensation down the back of the neck, or shivers, or just a run of energy down the spine, and you think, yeah, that's spirit talking to me. That's an energetic message coming through. Yes, of course it is. So your bodies, as they absorb these higher frequency energies, are more and more going to demand that you pay attention to them and also adjust what you're doing in a practical way to facilitate those energies coming through more effectively. So even though we've been at this for many years, I know I have, more and more I'm being asked to level up what I'm doing in terms of taking care of myself. And even patterns and habits and behaviours that I thought were healthy and that I've evolved over time, I'm having to question them and say, okay, do I need to shift that now? Is there anything more I need to do? So just be aware. If you are feeling overwhelmed, take it back to the practical level. This is an old pattern we're having to get rid of, this spiritual thing of bypassing the body, bypassing the human practical matters, and just wanting to kind of go out there into the wonderful realms of spirit and multidimensional reality. Now it's really, we're bringing it down, so we have to start with the basics. So if all you can do, because you're feeling tired, because you're feeling burnt out, because you're being asked to work with so many people and help so many people, there's a lot of demand out there right now. Don't think you are not doing your soul work by bringing it back to the basics. Taking care of your body, making sure your affairs such as finances, your home, looking after your family, eating well, sleeping well. Don't think those aren't spiritual things. They are incredibly, incredibly important, especially right now. Because if we can't hold those energies, we as light workers can't hold those energies securely, in a calm and peaceful way in our own bodies, how can we expect anyone else to? How can we expect the earth and the rest of humanity to be able to hold those frequencies that we all long to see coming into manifestation if we ourselves are not allowing that to happen within our own lives and beings? So that's what I wanted to speak to you about today. And if you want to read my reading for the month, have a nice cup of tea ready before you sit down, because yeah, it's more of a roller coaster ride. But the other thing, of course, is that when we embody our higher selves, when we embody that spiritual knowing, we have a certainty and an understanding that this might all look crazy at the human level, but there is a purpose behind it. There is a divine plan. We chose to be here at this time, and we know we have a particular role to play. Hold fast to that. Keep it simple when you're tired. Taking care of your body is enabling you to lightning rod conduct more spiritual energy into the earth, and therefore into the world, and therefore inspire others to do what needs to be done to change these structures. And of course, as we all know, before anything new can come into being, the old has to collapse or be dismantled or be let go of. And that's never a comfortable place to be. But again, hold to the knowledge that all of this is for a reason, for a purpose, to allow more harmony and balance and well-being to come into your life, to come into the planet, to bring us together as we need to be to make our way through this unprecedented transition to a more beautiful world. I'm sending you my love and my blessings, as I too am having to juggle things so that I can maintain my own physical well-being and keep the balance within me while being busier than ever I have before. These things need to be attended to, so I'm right there in it with you, and I send you my love. Until next time, blessings to you.